Diep slowly walked out of the hospital gate. Hands still weak, but on lips blooms a bright smile. James had been waiting outside since early morning, holding a bouquet of white carnations. Flower symbolizes pure love. Purple leaf. James came in a hurry, held her as if afraid that even a slight wind could make her fall. "I'm out of the hospital and much better now." Diep smiled gently, her eyes warm as she looked at him. "I dare to hold her hand tightly because today you take me home. But there is a surprise waiting for you." Diep tilted his head in surprise. Before she could ask more, James gently led her into the car. Bon car on the road. Towards James Mancio. Diep's heart trembled slightly. She sensed something very special was coming. Diep just got out of the car and was stunned. In front of her villa garden was splendidly decorated. White silk fabrics fluttering in the wind. Bright bouquets of fresh flowers stretched along a path leading to the garden. Inside in the middle of the yard a small chapel had been set up. Delicate and beautiful as a dream. Diep's mother, friends and relatives from both sides gathered together. Everyone was dressed in formal clothes and had bright faces. On the melodious background music, the goat mother in elegant audai walked forward. Gentle eyes looking at Diep. "Diep, you've worked hard. Today." Mother on behalf of the family organized the wedding for the children and matches. She took Diep's hand, her voice choked with emotion. Diep was surprised and tears suddenly flowed. She didn't expect things to happen so quickly. Oda's simple proposal, but a carefully prepared wedding. Just waiting for her nod. James knelt down in front of her and opened the small ring box. Inside is a sparkling diamond ring. "Diep, I have waited for this day for a long time. Will you be my wife?" Diep cried and nodded, reaching out her hand. Diep gently put the ring on her ring finger. Amidst the thunderous applause and bright smiles. Round. The sunlight gently shines down on the altar, like witnessing that sacred moment. Where a poor girl, oh family, finally found a place to stay. Firm for my heart. Melodious music rang out. Under the golden sunlight, Diep wore a pure white wedding dress made by James's mother prepares. Simple but elegant dress. Highlight her gentle and pure beauty. The guy in the ash gray suit can't take his eyes off his bride. In his eyes at this moment the world around him seemed to blur. Only that small but resilient figure remains. The priest stood on the altar smiling. "James, do you want to marry Diep? Love and care for her for the rest of my life?" James did not hesitate to answer firmly, "Let the child be willing." The priest turned to Diep. "I am Diep. I would like to marry you. Together for the rest of our lives. Rich or poor, sick or healthy. I agree." Diep held his breath. The eyes looked at each other longingly and then nodded firmly. I wish the applause echoed throughout the guard. Fresh flowers flying in the air, like thousands of colorful butterflies racing to bless. James bent down and kissed Diep lightly on the forehead, then hugged her tightly. In that moment, all the difficulties, the storms I have been through seem to have disappeared. Only complete happiness remains. As soon as the wedding ceremony entered the celebration from afar, a figure walked up. He was wearing dark clothes and looked cold. The partygoers looked at each other in surprise. "Don't understand what's going on." One invited him, but he lazily walked in with a glass of red wine in his hand. James immediately pulled the purple leaf behind him. Watchful eye. Smile, but a sarcastic smile. "Congratulations on your wedding. But I wonder, will this love last when the truth is revealed? Murmuring, James, cold night today is my wedding day. If you come here to cause trouble, please leave. But James was not humble. He looked straight at Diep, his voice cold. Diep, do you know? James had kept a big secret from her. One secret's about her parents. When James turned pale, the atmosphere was as tense as a guitar string. All the guests waited in silence. James held Diep's hand tightly, his eyes full of pain. He had known about the accident for a long time. Tore her family apart. And his family is the one who indirectly caused it. The sound was like a knife stabbing straight into Diep's heart. She staggered and almost fell if I hadn't caught her in time. Diep, I'm sorry. I planned to wait until after the wedding to tell you everything. I don't want you to be more heartbroken before this happy day. James whispered in pie. Diep trembled, her eyes filled with confusion and pain. She didn't know what to do. The heart was just at peace for a moment, then a storm arose. Extremely smirking, smug eyes. Diep turned and ran away. Can't stand it anymore. Diep escaped from James's hand, wiped out of the church amidst the astonished eyes of everyone. James called out to Diep to listen to his explanation, Diep. But she ran away and merged into the sea of people out there. Lustful stream, clenched fist, eyes turned cold. He stared, as if wanting to crush the opponent immediately. You hurt me once. I swear this time, I won't let you destroy my happiness anymore. James. Rainy street. Diep ran like the wind in the heavy rain. Rainwater mixed with salty tears. She didn't know where she was going. Just wanted to leave that place. Leave the words like a knife tearing the heart. A pure white wedding dress is now covered in mud. Passers-by looked at her with amazement. But she doesn't care. She just wanted to run away from it all. Diep, James left the wedding. James did not have time to get the umbrella. He drove away in the rain, his eyes bloodshot. Diep, don't leave me. Please don't disappear when I mumble. Driving and looking around the streets. The rain blurred his vision, but James didn't mind. My heart feels like it's being squeezed. I know if I don't find her this time, maybe she will leave him forever. Diep's phone rang. It was James' assistant Tuan. James, I saw Diep in the direction of the old park. She was walking in the rain without a coat. Not having time to answer, James turned the car around and sped up. Diep sat down under the big oak tree, where James first took her for a walk. She hugged her cold body. Rain hit my face cold. Her heart was in turmoil. Love, faith, pain, everything is watching, chest suffocating. James, why? She whispered with lustful eyes. Screeching brakes. Deem Lau got out of the car and ran towards him. Purple leaf. He shouted his call, tearing through the rye. Diep looked up and saw him, but she turned away to avoid. James knelt before her, let dirt and rainwater stain clothes. He grabbed her hand tighter. He apologized. I didn't have the courage to tell you sooner. But everything you do, everything I hide from you just because I love you. I begged Diep. Diep tried to stop Ra, but James firmly held on. I don't know. His family was indirectly involved. My parents' accident. Until I knew the truth, I fell in love with you, Diep. James, I don't know who to believe anymore, because she choked up. James tremblingly took out a wet tissue from his pocket. It was a private investigation he hired someone to do. Father's certificate. James was forced to sign illegal contracts in the past, completely unaware that the tragic accident would happen. To Diep, I have been investigating for the past 2 years. To Diep, I swear if you want, I am willing to leave all companies. Money, family. As long as you stay by my side, the rain will still pour down, I swear. To Diep raised her teary eyes and looked straight at James. She saw his eyes were not the eyes of a liar, but the eyes of a man who loves her. Pain to the end. To Diep falls into the cage. Can't stand it anymore. To Diep burst into tears and jumped into the cage. He held her tightly in his arms, ignoring the rain, regardless of everything around. In that moment, he whispered in her ear, "I'm sorry, I love you. I will take all the blame, just please don't let go of my hand. I'm sorry." To Diep cried and punched his chest lightly, her mouth choking with sobs. "You fool, how can I live without you?" Dare to laugh in tears, hug her tighter, even though it's raining. But their hearts found each other a guy, stronger, deeper after all the pie. In love and life, no road is paved with roses. There will be misunderstandings, the hurt and the pie, seemingly beyond saving. But there will be times when we want to give up because we think we have lost everything. But it is in the darkest moments we realize what is really important. Love is like a game, and the leaves they went through misunderstandings, pain and torment. Thought we would lose each other forever. But true love is not without mistakes. But dare to face, dare to fix, and not give up on each other. The biggest lesson is, to love someone is to accept their wounds and heal together. A brave one to speak the truth, even though it may be more painful than hiding it and losing each other. The truest love. OT Justin promises when things are going well, but also holding hands in the storms. Greatest of life. We may not be perfect, but as long as you don't let go, I won't give up on you either. That is what James demonstrated in action. Oh, just by words. For trusts are the strongest roots for every relationship. If James doesn't believe in his feelings for To Diep, if To Diep did not believe in James' sincerity, then everything easily fell apart from the first misunderstandings. Love cannot lack trust, and that belief must be nurtured every day, with patience, by understanding, and by sincere actions. I don't let pride and ego destroy good things. Like To Diep, many people when heartbroken choose to run away, endure in silence. Like James, many men when hurt choose to suppress their feelings, embrace the pie. But if everyone keeps their ego to high, everyone is waiting for the other person to take the first step. Then in the end, the distance just gets further and further. The lesson is in love. Sometimes brave bow once can save a life. For all happiness requires effort. Nothing comes naturally. The surprise wedding that James' mother organized was not the end, but just a milestone. More important is after the wedding. James and To Diep will have to continue learning how to love, patiently forgive, and nurture each other throughout life. True love doesn't end the moment you say yes, but starting from that very moment. Family is the place to stay, but it can also be a test of love. Expected interventio, or even pressure from both families is unavoidable. But James and To Diep taught us that love must be strong enough not to be shaken by external storms, must know how to listen and understand parents, but also have to be steadfast with the person you choose.